First of all, you cannot stabilize any population as long as their women and children are dying at the rates that they're dying at in Afghanistan. We can pour billions of dollars into Afghanistan for economic development and military stabilization, but as long as a man's children are dying and his wife isn't surviving childbirth, he doesn't care about economic development, and he quite frankly doesn't care where his political loyalties lie. He's going to give his political loyalties to the person who is going to help him.
What do they think about Americans and about our country?
My personal experience has been that the average Afghan on the street is very glad that we are there. Most of them understand we are not occupying their country. Most of them understand we are there to help stabilize it and bring peace. Did not have one Afghan ever tell me, and believe me, I traveled alone a lot with an interpreter. I was not always with the military. And I never had an Afghan tell me, we think you should get out of our country. In fact, if anything, I had them tell me, please don't abandon us before we're ready. Now, there has been an upsurge in the last, the terrorist tactics are starting to be adopted in Afghanistan. They're really starting to infiltrate. And were there terrorist incidents while you were there anywhere near you? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Both times. Both times. In fact, actually, the first time, I ended up leaving town. Anytime you travel to Afghanistan, you have the advice of a security service. You wouldn't dream of going into Afghanistan without having some sort of security service advising you and giving you bulletins and that sort of thing. I actually ended up leaving Afghanistan 2 days early on my first trip because they blew up the hotel in the block a half a block away from me. And the security service says, we really think for the sake of 2 days you ought to get out of the country, which I did. And this time there were several explosions while I was there, although this time I was staying on a military base. I was not in a private sector hotel.